Namaste and welcome. I hope you guys are doing well. I have been getting a lot of cases of late about Rahu Dasha, Rahu Mahadasha. Basically, people are asking a lot if this is my Rahu is in my first thing, what happens? And good thing is that with AI things are growing fast. People are awakening fast. There is a lot of seekers who are growingly, increasingly in spiritual seeking terms, especially astrology part. I call it like applied astrology. That's my name of my channel and everything that I do. The Rahu in general, because it's so strong that it calls for a separate video. It's not a guy or a planet or a, let's say, a shadow planet where we can cover the entire thing into. Like I can't combine any planets with that. It's so strong and so profound. So let me start with Rahu. And the story goes, as you know, right? There was a demon, but basically that he went and after they call it Samudra Manthan, where in the Hindu customs and Sanatana Dharma, there was a Samudra Manthan, which is basically they were churning the ocean to take out the nectar or the amritam that we call it, which is like you can become immortal if you have a sip of that drink. So basically, it was distributed among the gods, and then this guy was a smart guy, and basically this demon actually goes and sits in the lane, and then everybody was offered, and then kind of the moon and the sun actually saw that, the planets, and then they just go to Lord Vishnu and then says that please let's this is like a demon right here, why don't we get rid of him? So Lord Vishnu again becomes angry and he takes out his Sudarshan chakra and kinds of with his the round chakra that he has, he kind of kills him and divides him into two halves. So the head and the above becomes Rahu, and the portion below, the whole body becomes Ketu. That's what we call a shadow planet of the ecosystem again. And so basically that's this is where I want to start the story about Rahu. It's very profound, this Kali Yuga and the kind of age that we are living in. It is very significant in anybody's chart in the sense that out of the 9 planets that we have, this is where it becomes very crazy. It amplifies the effect of any house that it is placed. So I know a lot of you have been wondering about, I have checked with AI and everything, the people are actually able to, and a lot of apps out there, people are easily able to go and online and check on their own charts. So if you have been wondering what does each placement means, like from 1 to 12 houses, my Rahu is in RA in English, or the letter R or R in Hindi, that will be, or Sanskritam, that's basically where it starts from, they'll say RA. So I'll start with the first house and we'll go from 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll try to do justice to each house. Again, there are 300 plus 240 plus signals, and the way we can derive the outcomes or what is the probability of this happening versus that according to astrology. But I'll stay with most the classic things, big things where you'll be able to connect the dots and try to visualize your Kundli or birth chart yourself. I hope that sets a clear context, and I'll get started on that. The first house, if you have a Rahu on first house, let's say it will be denoted by number 1. That basically means that that denotes your personality. It shows the body, the vigor, how you look up to yourself, how your body is structured, how you also think about yourself, and to a large extent how others also perceive you. So this is about the sort of the strongest house to have. This is like a very good profile for somebody who is this is a house in the, we call it Kal Purusham, or the wheel of time, which is where in the first house, if you have a Rahu, it becomes prominent. It is very, very strong position to have, and it again depends upon the zodiac sign. So first, let's say it's Aries or Mesh Rashi, or Mesh or Aries zodiac sign. Like second will be Taurus, third would be Gemini, fourth would be Cancer, fifth would be Leo, sixth would be Virgo, 7th will be more like Libra, 8th is Scorpion, 9th will be Sagittarius, and 10th is Capricorn, 11th will be Aquarius, and 12th will be Pisces, like that. So depending upon which zodiac signs the planet Ketu falls in, it's actually a shadow planet, not really a planet, but we do consider it in astrology by all practical means. This kinds of gives you a very high kick on place 1, let's say, assuming it is in first house, be it any zodiac sign in general I'm saying, and they will depend upon a lot of factors of course. But this person is a go-getter. He will be like a lot about I, me, myself, a lot self-attained, self-busy kind of person. less caring about others, which is good and bad both. It depends on the situation and the angle that you are looking at. Also the fact that over here specifically, this person has very strong inclination to like I would say non-traditional things. It may have its own thoughts of life about himself, his personality, his or her personality, or especially good with IT, calculations, shadow things. Very good profile for a social media guy, a Bollywood or a Hollywood celebrity, anybody who is very famous online. It also shows again very good for tech, R&D, AI that you see nowadays, by the way. But again, the relationships can be somewhat challenged. It will depend if the person meets somewhat either the similar person by whichever virtue of birth in this life, or, and I do believe we have multiple lives, by the way, or let's say this person gets a partner which is exact opposite energy. It may also work. This place is more about your personality, the way you appear, your likes and don'ts, and especially how you carry forward your life. This is very significant chart. Position, we call it Lagna, or your ascendant in English. It's a good position to have, especially in this life and for the tech world and AI disruption that we are seeing. Everything becomes like extrapolated to this personality. So let's say if they like media, they will like too much of media. If they, let's say, get into smoking, they will get into too much of smoking. If they like anything, it will be very profound. So Rahu is the basic innate trait, is it will amplify to the greatest thing. And on the other hand, let's say even if they have any other planet along with Rahu, it will also behave like that. It will kind of hijack that whole planet and start behaving like that whole planet itself in a 2x, 3x way. So it will always amplify. That's like a very simple layman's principle to understand this in easy term. That's about house 1. I will move on to, again, there are a lot of things before I move on, like he may have done some karmas, which is why he was born into this. It is again a good chance of foreign placement. So it is a person who will be very happier when that person or the native is away from their place of birth. Usually what we have seen is they are usually away from the place of birth, and if they happen to go back to their native place, or let's say place where they were born, they'll usually have a lot of challenges. They will be restless, they will not like it, they want to go back and all of that, right? So that's about house 1. Moving on to house 2 in specific, which is house of income, or money basically that we call it, or speech that we govern. So this person may it's good placement for money making, right? So the tricky part here is this person may do anything and everything to make money. Then the whole dharma, or the understanding of the righteousness or ethics, becomes questionable here. That's what I have seen in my personal practice that I have been doing 5 years plus now, in applied astrology that I call it. So again, the speech will be very profound. Like if they start talking, they can actually manipulate a lot of things. So it's a good thing to have you find a very good artist who is good with mimicry, or mimicking others, or copying others, let's say. This also is very good profile for, if they like something, they can speak for it like for hours. So you can see a lot of people who are good salespeople, right? Anybody who makes money via speech could be a good fit here. Like, I'm just talking about career as well. And this person usually will be talkative, is what I've seen, like a lot of talk. It can, so it's a very good profile for somebody who is a fiction writer, who can speak well, a public speaker, a person who can influence or earn money via just talking BS, or let's say a lot of BS, right? So that basically, and that might not be true. The trick here is that that person will appear like that with a very intelligent thing, but it will not be the reality. It will just be the public perception in general. And speech can somehow get harsh as well, in the sense that if that person says something, let's say negative, it will be felt by the people. The opposite side will feel a lot, especially in the sense that it will go inside, deep inside them, like, he has told me something and I'm hurt kind of situation. So that's number 2, and this house number 2. Very good for money making though, exceptional capabilities on speech, intellect, especially the money parts, and a lot of money. But again, the means of money becomes questionable, but there will be money for sure. That's about the house 2 in general. This is again a challenging situation. What I've seen is that this native would not actually want to take forward their family legacy. Let's say the father was a farmer. It is very likely that they'll do something else than being a farmer. They would actually hate being a farmer itself. Like hate in the sense, might not like to follow the family traditions. Actually, this is the last person who want to carry forward the family values, okay, to be honest. So that's about number 2, which is very, very profound. If I have to rate, this will be the first priority, then other things are important, but not that important, you know, because families do get affected when, you know, I have a son, I want to pass my legacy on, you know, all of that fun stuff, which is happening nowadays. People are worried about money, inflation, the unrest that we have in Middle East with the oil prices shocking up and all of that. So with that sense, what I mean by that is, anybody who is able to preserve in few years from now would want their kids or the next generation to take forward the legacy they have, but this profile will not. Okay. So that's moving on to, with that being said, moving on to house number 3. House number 3, if the Rahu is placed, so let's say you have 3 number and you have a Rahu there, or let's say if you count from the beginning, it will show 1. We count on the left hand side, so if it is diamond chart, depends on what type of chart you're looking at. If you see Rahu in house number 3, like count from the 1 and go left 2 and the 3 on your left. Let's say anti-clock is a better way to say that. That will be the 3rd house. But if you have a number 3 or Rahu in the house number 3, it could be any number depending upon the zodiac sign, like I started in the beginning of this video. Even here, I have this like this is like a house of siblings, courage and all. But basically, our communication, we also look at social media, marketing communications, journalism, and technology, reaching out to masses, courage, siblings, the affection with the siblings, all of that is seen from here. But the profound thing what I've seen is the courage part. I just came across a profile from south of India recently. It's like a kid who is a 15-year-old. I can't disclose beyond that for obvious practical reasons. So this gives an unlimited courage, okay. The challenge here is that the person would not even know that how what is the reality of the courage they have. Is that unlimited, or they will want to fight, and if they take up a fight, they can go to any extent. It's a very tough situation to handle, especially if the kids are involved. And this person, because Rahu is involved, it will amplify the courageousness. Just imagine you're sitting in the house of courage. It will amplify the courage to an unlimited infinity, I would say. So then the person will not be threatened with anybody. He will feel that he can beat them up, and to an extent, yes, as well, because Rahu will give you unlimited courage, to be honest. So that's one thing to look at. The second important aspect is siblings. Siblings relationships may be soured mostly. It can go in either way, depends upon who your sibling is, with what chart that person is born on this planet. But again, mostly it's like fights, arguments, disturbances away from sibling to a great extent. So some time period, all that can happen. All right. So, but again, very good for marketing professionals. If you want to get into marketing, if you want to get into media, mass communication, journalism, you want to go heavy on social media, you want to go become a celebrity who is purely online, an online influencer, somebody who runs advertising online, or just a traditional advertising person, this is like a fantastic profile to have. Phenomenal growth. Expect a lot of travels as well. If you have this position, or anybody who is watching has 3rd position for Rahu in your chart, depending upon any zodiac sign, like I said, expect a lot of short-term travels. It's very good profile for a travel agent. You can always look up to a business who is into travel and hospitality, especially the travel part, because this person would love traveling. All right, so that's about the 3rd house. I'll move on to the house number 4. House number 4, I haven't seen bad results, to be honest. It is mostly okay. This is like the house of mother. Again, it's a house of your mother where you are born. I also look at schooling from this. Education up to the elementary level, I would say. So it's good for education, but a lot of zigzags. You might have a school education, or the elementary might be a little challenge. You might have to change schools. You might be confused with your curriculum. You might change a lot of subjects, which is fine. It's normal to be confused there. With mothers, it may give some distance, some arguments with the mother. Again, in terms of property, it's all taken care of. So you have good property, good earnings, good income. I don't see all that as a challenge at all. This person gets mostly whatever they plan for in their life, like especially with real estate, money, the basically have a nice house, family, the wife, everything is fine here. The house, it also shows the your immediate house or surroundings where you live. So your immediate house, the family is a little bit challenged in the sense that they might not be able to understand, but this person may have a different priority inside the house, and outside the house may be different. This is a very good profile for work from home, by the way. So the era we are headed to, this person would love working from home. They are very, very happy and very, very workaholic when they are inside the home. This kind of profile, if you happen to send them for a job, they'll just be bored out. Like they would not want to work in an office environment or any traditional setup. They would not even be able to get up to do 9 to 5, to be honest. Okay, they'll not enjoy that. They will rather come back and work from home. But very good for tech, AI again. A lot of money if you have to travel to foreign countries, foreign projects, make money, have properties. This is fantastic on those lines. But again, challenge with your mother health might be affected. Even let's say property may not be easy for you. It will come your way, but there will be hiccups. Okay, so that's about house number 4. Moving on to house number 5. That's the house of family, higher education, and your past life, karmas, blessing from the past life. This has been mostly positive, but I have seen negatives as well here. But basically, it shows your family life, that if you have a family life, there will be hiccups into that. Some challenges with your kids around that. Very good for higher education into R&D. If you are getting for, let's say, the undergrads or post graduation, if you will, you are looking at a very good R&D driven career, R&D driven education, a deep research, deep PhD scholars, or somebody who is like as good as a doctor, especially who is into kids and all, like pediatrics. So pediatrics as well. But again, the relationship with the first kid might be sour. Okay, in this case, we have seen that the first born kid might have affection, but there could be challenges in the arguments, all of that. Good for education, good for family life, enough of peace, money. It also gives a sight to your 9th house, which is the house of luck and karma, which your relationship with your father may be troublesome, little bit challenge there. The understanding of dharma itself, or let's say the whole righteousness or ethical values, can be challenging. This person can be confused with that very well, in the sense that whether this is right or wrong, what's the meaning of having something right, who decides what is right, who decides what is wrong, what am I doing, what if I do it in this way versus that way. So all that is very, very practical. That's how it works in this situation, to be honest. Okay, house number 5. I'll move on to house number 6, which gets very, very interesting. We call it house of debt, diseases, and your reputation in general in society, and also your profession. Okay, so this shows a lot of, again, a profession. This person is very workaholic. He would love to work like crazy. Workaholic. He or she will not be impacted by the job they do. Diseases. So they'll be. Even if they catch a disease, they will come out very, very strong. They will be very, very good with fighting the diseases and making sure that that is eradicated from their life. That's number 2. Number thing is about enemies, and also again in enemies we have seen that this person will be like a beast mode. Okay, they will invite a lot of enemies into their life, but they will kind of defeat them as well. It's not like they will have plenty of enemies, but somehow they will defeat it. They'll always have a beast mode on. Like imagine they have a Rahu shield on the 6th house. Okay, so if something happens, they'll please come and fight, but they will have a unlimited, like I said, it amplifies unlimited capability to fight your enemy, unlimited capabilities to fight debt. So for these people, getting into debt is there, but they will again be able to fight it out. Again, but with my limited experience, I've seen the debt thing is a little tricky here. It can go in any direction. Okay, especially in 12th, I'm coming to that. But this one is like they'll be able to fight out mostly. It's mostly positive on the debt things, and this is very good for competitive exams as well. So let's say if you have a child with this combination, if they're growing up, they can prepare very well for any kind of competition which requires a lot of studies. This is like a very studious, very argumentative, very opinionated, and very somebody who's a go-getter and fighter. So they will fight for it, they will stand for things, and they will be very good in arguments, especially if there's anything else than Rahu there. Combination to have a very healthy, balanced life, especially with quickly. 7th house is like where it is not easy to handle. I've mostly seen this in a negative ways, to be honest, basically. But again, as I told, astrology is like a guidance or a torchlight. When you have a darkness, I'll show you go left, go right. I always say this to all my clients, and they know it pretty well now. So basically, 7th house is the house your companion, your marriage, your commercial activity or business as well. This position is very good for business if you are into IT, technology, shadow things. Let's say you are an alcohol guy, you have a shop outlet which is alcohol, you have an outlet which sells smoking cigarettes or weed thing, whatever you call it like. So anything which is shadow, even online things, technology, IT, AI, it will be a very good thing to have as a business for you. But if the spousal things gets challenging here, getting married, then there are chances of more than one marriage. I haven't come across so far, and there are exceptions to the rule, but mostly it's more than one partner in life, and then let's say more than one marriage, to be honest. So that's how it works. And then in terms of challenges, like when the dasha kicks in, it will kind of try to destroy the marriage, mostly I've seen. And it's good, like from a family planning and all, it doesn't matter, to be honest. But again, it's good for business, but not so great for spousal relationships. There will be arguments, misunderstanding, I am the best. And then if you happen to have a spouse is in front of you, if your body is in front of you, that person is your spouse. So that spouse will be very self-centered. So with this spouse, if you have, again, if the person who marries is kind of surrendering and then they are not worried about this spouse, then they'll be fine. But wherever they talk out, let's say any kind of inhibitions, any restrictions, any kind of compatibility challenges, then this will not go well. This is mostly heading towards a disaster, like separation and all of that you know of. Not a great position to have, but fantastic for business. Okay, it depends a lot about other things before we conclude. But please don't believe that anybody who has a 7th house Rahu will be separated. No, not like that. There are a lot of other things that we have to see through. I am right now talking about a 30,000 bird side view. In general, this is common, okay, but not exactly. You will have to consult somebody a learned or well-known or at least capable astrologer. Okay, going on to 8th house is a house of occult, tough situation to handle. Past life karma, occult, hidden things, your in-laws things as well, and your especially to do with past life and the longevity. I call it as vitality, longevity of life. Okay, this is challenging. Most of them I've seen influenced. Okay, it depends upon which zodiac falls in here, but if you have it here, it mostly shows from past life karma. But the thing which I recommend, this is like where you're trying to catch an evil eye. If you know of, I have a blog on that in my website. Or if you are very profound to catch negative energy, okay, you will be attracting a lot of negativity. So very tough to stay positive with this situation. But again, know that this is coming from past life, and it does impact a lot of areas of life, especially your income and all of that, and longevity and whole health, vitality, I would say. And then it is not a great position to have by any means. The good thing is somebody worshipping Ma Durga or any goddess form usually is blessed, they're taken care of. Those are some of the remedies I recommend. So being just good to women in general will also help. Okay, going on to the 7th, the house number 9th, which is the house of your karma, your father's blessings, the luck. This works fantastic here. You may have a different view of religion altogether. Very good, very lucky guy. The father may not be very compatible with, but again, very good for your being luck, charm, good for education, going abroad, all of that. Okay, but again, challenges with the father, not the best thing, but again, it shows that your mind is a lot into your father, your karma, your luck. You might have hallucinations about being lucky. Okay, so this can land into gambling. That you have to be careful with, because you will start hallucinating that, okay, I'm the luckiest, I'll do this and that, maybe I should go put some into the stock market, do some gambling, all of that. So it's not a good thing to have in that sense, but overall it's fine. I've not seen much negativity with this. The 10th house is the one of the perfect house to have. Actually, I have not, so 3rd is good, but probably 10th is the best to have Rahu, but it runs over your karma, your job that you do. Okay, the house of karma we call it, or day-to-day things that gets money into your life. So again, good for IT career, AI, technology, coding, online things, shadow things, businesses that deal with shadow, smoking, that deal with that kind of business, alcohol which is not visible but can so gives a kick. Anything which is in that segment, which is there but not the like electricity, a very good electrical engineer, very good electronics guy, somebody who can run an electronic factory. somebody who can deal with a lot of people from foreign countries. These kind of people are usually be in an MNC, even if they are in, let's say, India, Philippines, any country, for example. They'll be mostly working for somebody in the West or somebody in the like further developed countries that we call a G7 nation, or a, for instance. So they'll be working for the company, the multinational corporation, which are not resident of their country. They do have an office, but they are mostly originating from some other country of origin. Okay, very good for them. I have seen most of them actually the whole life they will be employed for some company outside their own native country, but they will not even know. So it's very common on the 10th house. Okay, coming to 11th house specifically, which is the house of profitability, income, gains, and your wish fulfillment, social circles. Okay, this is like a person who will have a lot of friends, lot of go getting social guy, a lot of profitability is very high. Okay, it's not a bad thing to have. It's very profitability is very high. You invest less, gain more. This is a good position to have. But again, I've seen troublesome social life. So let's say they might attract a lot of partners. Okay, and if a Venus or anything else is here, it becomes very troublesome to handle, because being loyal to one friend, being loyal to one partner, being loyal to one kind of community is questionable here. I have not seen that happening usually, because Rahu will kind of trick you into unwanted things which are not so pleasurable, so genuine, or so nice, in other words. Okay, so that's about 11th house. A lot of friends, okay, a lot of social life, going out, eating, party, dinner, you call it, you name it, it's there. Okay, I'll move on to the 12th house quickly, which is the house of spirituality. It's the only house that is open to the ultimate divine, or the lords and the gods we have. And it also is the house of spirituality, house of foreign land. So this position is mostly a foreigner. Okay, the moment you see this, the safer prediction will be to tell that this guy is a foreigner. If he's born into any place, more or less he will spend a lot of time or the entire life outside the native place where he was born, he or she was born. Mostly a foreigner. They think a lot about spirituality. They can have endless, infinite spirituality around them, very well protected by the divine. No enemies will be able to hurt them. It's very less likely to have any kind of debt in their life, no money problems, less enemies or no enemies, and very healthy built. They are usually long lasting, very long lasting people on this planet. And then 12th house also in the house of aloneness, solace, hospitals, expenses. The troublesome part here is that they will be very spendthrifty, a lot of money. They will need protection around money, to be honest, because they can lose money like crazy. There's a lot of money coming their way, but they will just spend money like this, like on the tips, spend. Very careful. There is a risk of debt, getting into debt because of that habit. So they should avoid credit cards, a lot of credit, fake promises. That things becomes troublesome. Again, it's also the house of bed pleasures. So basically, in the bedroom, they will have a lot of demands, a lot of unrealistic demands, a lot of hallucination. Good for somebody who wants to become a porn star, for all you know, but for the family life, it's not a good thing to have, because they involve a lot of experimentation, a lot of thought process, and their bedroom is the place they'll think a lot. This personality will also spend a lot of time in their washrooms or bathrooms, which again work in their favor, but again the others may or may not like. Okay, but again, foreign things are very, very prominent here. It is more or less going to happen. So I hope you get a context from house 1 to 12. I hope you like this video. If there are any questions or comment about Rahu, please mention in the comment box. I'll be happy to answer. My website is neerajupadhyay.com, neerajupadhyay.com. You can always reach out to my channel as well. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Namaste.